Good Entertainment fans, man, it's been a minute. Right now I'm bringing you my review for American Made. This movie stars Tom Cruise, Donald Gleason, and Sarah Wright, and this movie was directed by Doug Liman. Now you might remember Doug Liman from such movies like Edge of Tomorrow, where he was also paired up with Tom Cruise, and in that movie they definitely brought us something great. And I'm going to say the same thing for this movie. American Made I thought was a fantastic film. It was fun, it was entertaining, it definitely told a great story about this guy Barry Seal that I personally have never heard about, and it also brings to light a lot of American history is fucked up in regards to either A, shit that they've done to people in the past, or B, the way that they've used people to bring things into this country and or export things out of this country that was basically illegal. Alright y'all, so American Made basically breaks down like this. This movie chronicles the life and times of TWA pilot Barry Seal throughout the 80s. Early on in the film, he's approached by this guy, Monty Schaefer, played by Donald Gleason. Now, Donald Gleason works for the CIA, and he tells him, yo, we think you are a really good pilot, but you are in the wrong profession. You need to be working with us. They want him to fly reconnaissance missions over South America, taking pictures from his airplane of military type, militia types, drug cartel type people, get that information back to the government, and then the government's going to be doing something about it. But what ends up happening is while he's doing some of these missions, the cartel leaders, they see him, they pull him aside, and they say, hey, guess what? You can do your little missions, but we also need you to do some missions for us. Next thing you know, he's doing all these missions, not only for our government, but for them, and then a little bit of stuff for their government as well. So he's got himself all in the pots, getting all this money from different spots, creating this big ass drug cartel, and all the while basically untouchable because he has the United States government backing him the whole way through. So one of the reasons why I thought this movie was great was definitely because of the direction from Doug Liman. This movie is very stylized. It has a great color palette. Even from the very beginning, it's very retro with like old school Universal logos and old school Imagine logos. So it really kind of sets you back in the 80s, back in that time. Also, I like the way that he shot the film too. There's a lot of scenes in this movie that are used with like that Steadicam, Handycam type of feeling. Not so much so that it's jarring and your eyes are trying to focus on anything. It's quite easy to get through that. But it makes you feel like you're in the moment. I like when movies do that, when they're using that Steadicam so you feel like you're right along there in the airplane with Tom Cruise as he's doing these missions and whatnot. Also, a film like this, a film that breaks down a lot of information that took place in history in a chronological fashion, can sometimes be kind of boring and boggled down with details. But because of Tom Cruise and the way he played this character, I was definitely invested throughout the entire film. He has just the right amount of I'm nervous, I don't know what I'm doing, buffoonery if you will, and just the right amount of charisma, swag, and genius, if you will. He marries those two situations together for a fun, entertaining character that you are riding along with throughout the entire movie, and you want them to succeed even though he's kind of doing illegal shit. Now, I will say this, there's not a whole lot of character development for basically anybody in this film. They kind of just throw the characters at you, let you know a tidbit of their backstory and where they're at now. And you know what? I was fine with that. Yes, I do love character development. Yes, it will invest you more in the character. But again, this is Tom Cruise's movie. This is about one major guy, and we are focused on him from the conception of when he got this job offer with the CIA all the way until the end of the story that we're seeing unfold in front of us. And from point A to point B, because of the acting quality of mainly Tom Cruise and all the other ancillary characters, you're invested enough with just that alone. The stakes are there, the threat is there, and you're, again, right along with them, even though we don't have all that backstory. So yes, I do like backstory. Yes, I do like a lot of deep character development. We didn't really get that in this film, but I didn't think it was necessary, so I'm not really going to put any shade on that. I think it was perfectly fine the way that the characters were developed, just enough for what you saw on screen. Alright guys, in the end of the day, I do think that this movie is worthy of a trip to the theater. I'm not going to front and act like it's the best movie of the year or it's breaking new ground, but I will say this, in regards to movies about the government putting their hand in the cookie jar when they shouldn't be, this is one of the more entertaining films that has come out about that type of topic. So, I hope I gave you a little bit of insight into what this movie is about, a little bit of knowledge to give you a good understanding and make a good decision whether or not you actually want to go see this film. If I did that, do me a favor, like, subscribe. Your boy, I'm out.